A fresh start for a 40-year-old family man who had already become the stuff of music legend, was the song that, upon its release on October 24, 1980, would go on to become the #1 single in the United States after John Lennon's death. An optimistic piece that was full of optimism and promise was a new beginning for John Lennon, who had taken a 5-year vacation after his 1975 covers album Rock 'N' Roll. Lennon had effectively retired from the life of a rock star. A single that was released by John Lennon before he was killed by Mark David Chapman on December 8, 1980, outside of the Dakota, which was his apartment complex located in Central Park West. A sailing journey from Newport, Rhode Island, to Bermuda in June of 1980, according to John Lennon's 1980 playlist, which adds that the Beatles' creative energy was revitalized through the experience. It seemed as though he had regained his former glow. Lennon did, in fact, experience a period of rebirth and rejuvenation during this time period. The record Double Fantasy, which was a collaborative effort between him and his wife Yoko Ono, was released just 3 weeks before he was murdered. At the time, he was enjoying parenting and the domestic pleasure that comes with it. When Just Like Starting Over was released as the first single from that album, there was a lot riding on it. At the conclusion of the rehearsal sessions for Double Fantasy with producer Jack Douglas, the Bright track, which was a combination of 3 prior demos of songs by John Lennon, was received. Undoubtedly, John Lennon had the objective of reaching the highest possible position on the pop charts. At the end of the day, that is what John was actually saying, despite the fact that he had previously made criticisms of Paul McCartney for writing songs about his happy marriage and fatherhood. The lyrics, without a doubt, convey the desire to rekindle a love relationship with Ono 5 years after the two of them had become parents to their son Sean. According to English, not only does John Lennon sing, "Let's take a chance and fly away somewhere alone," but at the very conclusion of the song, you can also hear an announcement about an airport trip included inside it. Lennon was influenced by a number of musicians from the 1950s before he became a member of the Beatles. These musicians include Elvis Presley, Roy Orbison, Eddie Cochran, and Buddy Holly. The song is a musical tribute to these musicians. At any point in time and under any circumstances, the passing of John Lennon would have been a dreadful event, yet, the fact that he passed suddenly in such a harsh manner right at the moment when he returned to the public eye after a hiatus of 5 years was particularly painful. This single is the gateway song for the new phase of John Lennon that we are getting at that moment in time, when we look back on the legacy of the single and its place among Lennon's solo work 40 years later. Sadly, it is only able to live that life for a short time.